Episode 35. To marriage registry or audition? Jade gazed into his bottomless dark eyes and began to consider his proposal. Right. What woman would not want to marry a man like him? Plus, he was offering her such generous conditions, and she would not have to marry that disgusting old man. So what reason could she have to reject him? However, if she accepted his proposal, she would surely offend the Winslets and Mr. Carson too. That might cause trouble for Dario. No matter what, he was still her saviour. She didn't want to cause him problems because of her own messed up family. Jade pursed her lips and remained silent. But Dario expertly read her changing emotions in her head. He knew what was on her mind. He bent his head and gently kissed her forehead. His tone softened. Don't worry. As long as you marry me, everything you're worrying about right now will be fine. But I have nothing, and I have everything, so I need nothing from you. I come with a lot of problems. That's fine. I like solving problems. Jade stared with her mouth wide open. She felt as if her heart was slowly being conquered by him. But I don't love you, she finally blurted out. As expected, Dario's face sank and became expressionless once more. His dark gaze seemed to see through to her soul. She shifted uncomfortably. Then he smiled grimly. Each word was infused with utter confidence and domination. It doesn't matter. You'll eventually fall in love with me. Do you really want to marry me? Jade felt her heart wavering. Do I look like I'm joking? Dario's face was calm, but his eyes were filled with determination and seriousness. Jade looked for a long time into his dark, glittering eyes before she finally spoke. I accept your proposal, but there are conditions. Dario's eyes narrowed as he raised his eyebrows. Well, this was interesting. Conditions from her? Go ahead. First of all, because I don't love you, that means you can't force me to do that kind of thing with you, so we must sleep separately. And also, I don't want to have a child with you. Certainly, as long as you're happy, Dario answered as soon as she finished. Jade was quite shocked. She'd expected him to resist such unreasonable requests. That would have given her a reason to reject him, but he had actually agreed to all of them. Damn it. Now how was she going to get out of this impossible situation? She felt like slapping herself in the face. About that, so, are you serious? Of course, Dario answered patiently. Usually if someone asked him a question more than once, he told them to get lost. But facing Jade, he seemed to have infinite patience. Jade widened her big round eyes as she felt panic rising. Wait, I have one more condition. There's more? Oh, if you don't agree, I will agree. But I haven't even told you what it is yet. It doesn't matter what you say. I agree. You should be satisfied by now. Jade took a deep breath and said something that even she found ridiculous. I will marry you, but I'll never fall in love with you. There'll be no love between us. We're just living under the same roof. So, you must not fall for me either. I'll do my best to play my role as a pleasing wife. Jade observed his reaction as she spoke, afraid that he would get up and leave. After all, she had gone too far with her words. But he did not. His expression remained serene from the beginning to the end, as if everything was as he expected. Fine. Dario narrowed his eyes, revealing a trace of a smile. However, I'm afraid that you might not be able to control your heart. Jade smiled and replied confidently. Oh, I will. If I can't control my heart, then how is it even mine? I think the same goes for you as well. I don't know why you must marry me, but I'm certain it's not because you love me. After all, the two of them had only known each other for a few days. Dario raised his eyebrows, thinking that she was adorable when she tried to appear confident. Jade, you child, did you really think it would be that easy to control your heart? Good, now that you've agreed, then let's register for the marriage license. Go get your passport and identification papers. Dario moved swiftly now that things were decided. What? Jade felt the shock of her life. Register for the marriage license now? This man. Why did he always have to be so decisive about things? Couldn't he give her a little time and space? It's already 4:30 p.m. If we don't hurry, we might not make it in time. Upon hearing the time, Jade flew to her feet. What? What time did you say it was? She'd almost forgotten an important matter. What's wrong? I still need to go to the audition. It's so late. Surely the audition hasn't ended, has it? It was almost too late for Jade to make it to the university in time. And also, Jade lowered her head in disappointment and frowned. It's over. It's over. Everything is over. If I don't marry Mr. Carson, then I won't be able to cover my grandmother's medical bills. Jade nearly broke down in tears as she spoke. How could she be so selfish? How could she abandon her grandmother just for her own sake? What are you afraid of? As I said, everything will be resolved. Daria looked at her tear-streaked face and felt a tug at his heart. But my grandma needs $300,000 for her surgery and hospital stay. Where could I get so much money from? Mr. Foster, do you have that much money? Jade lifted her gaze and stared at him innocently with her huge round eyes. To Jade, $300,000 was such an astronomical amount. She couldn't imagine even a wealthy person taking that much money out on a moment's notice. Daria's face twitched when she asked him that question. The wine that she drank at his house earlier cost far more than $300,000. What do you think? Well, I think you could hardly afford to take out that much amount of money. Jade gave it another thought. After all, he owned a luxurious car, so maybe he could do it. Could I? Hardly. Yes, I suppose it's somewhat difficult. It's impossible to communicate with someone who has no idea of money. But it was just that reason why she had no interest in Victor Carson's $5 million. After thinking about it, she decided maybe it was not that hard for him after all. Oh, right. Mr. Foster, you seem free all the time since you're always outside. Don't you need to work? Jade asked curiously. I'm unemployed. Only deal with some businesses occasionally. He only dealt with some businesses that were worth billions occasionally. Therefore, most of the time, he was free.